Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're plunging into a really fascinating approach to meditation. It's one that takes traditional practices and kind of layers on some incredibly insightful modern modifications. Our mission: to unpack Christopher Macor's three body cycles meditation. He shares this in his Meditation Happy Hour series. And it's all about finding maybe a shortcut to a deeper understanding of self-awareness. And surprisingly, we're going to see how something like, well, a shift in guitar tuning can actually shed light on advancements in meditation. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's start with the foundation practice here. That's shamatha vipassana from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. Shamatha means calm, abiding. Vipassana, insight. Christopher Macor has been deeply immersed in the vipassana side for over 35 years, and it primarily focuses on the out-breath. Just the out-breath.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is the sheer brilliance of that Tibetan approach. Most meditation traditions, they focus on the entire breath cycle, in, out, the whole thing.
Right, the one most people think of.
Exactly. But the Tibetans, they realized if you just focus solely on the out-breath and just sort of allow everything else that's happening in your system to simply be in your awareness, it creates this much bigger container for that awareness.
A bigger container. Interesting.
It really is. It's quite a profound shift from the usual method.
That focus only on the out-breath, it does seem a bit counterintuitive at first glance. What's the core mechanism there that allows for that bigger container? Macor seems to find similar kinds of ingenious insights elsewhere, right? Like in music.
Yes, precisely.
Can you maybe elaborate on why these subtle shifts are so transformative? Like tuning awareness, as you said.
Well, it makes you think, doesn't it? How often we try to add more complexity, when sometimes the real breakthrough comes from simplifying or just retuning what's already there.
Yeah.
Think about the guitar analogy. He mentions this brilliant development.
Yeah, the tuning change.
Right. Going from tuning in all fourths, then this shift where the second string goes down to a third a B instead of C on the old 5-string Italian guitar, then adding a 6th string, boom. It basically transforms the guitar into this little orchestral instrument.
Wow.
So Macor sees that same principle applying to meditation. A small, really insightful modification can lead to profound change.
And it's exactly that idea, identifying these kinds of transformative developments, that underpins his own modifications.
Exactly. He's identified what he calls the 3 body cycles. He considers these absolutely seminal in terms of self-awareness.
Okay, what are they?
Respiration, pulse, and sensation. Those 3.
Respiration, pulse, sensation.
And they are central, absolutely central to his modified practice.
And how did he land on those 3 specifically? It wasn't just out of the blue.
No, not at all. It came from decades, literally decades, of his dedicated vipassana practice. The kind that systematically focuses on sensation, scanning the body, area by area.
The body scan.
So during that practice, Macor had this critical realization. He realized that the actual pulsing of blood through your body is a distinct subset of sensation.
Ah, okay. Not just general feeling, but something specific.
Precisely. Think about it. You can easily feel your pulse, right? Your heart beating, maybe.
Yeah, or your wrist.
Or your wrist, exactly. Or even that soft area just below your sternum, the xiphoid process. You can often feel a pulse there, too. And what's really important is that all 3, respiration, pulse, and sensation, you can experience them basically anywhere in the body. They're universally accessible as objects for meditation.
So for Macor, these 3 aren't just separate things floating around. He sees them forming a triplicity, like a complete system.
Yes, a triplicity.
He uses these analogies, right? Like heaven, earth, and man.
Yeah, or more abstractly, like active, passive, connective.
Just as conceptual models to kind of understand how they relate and function together in the practice specifically.
Exactly. They help frame the relationship between these core elements. But here's where he hit a bit of a challenge. How do you incorporate all 3 cycles into meditation easily?
Right, because
when you observe both the in-breath and the out-breath, the breath tends to, dominate the stage.
Ah, because you can control it.
You got it. It's controllable, so our attention naturally zooms in on it. And that pulls focus away from the other, maybe more subtle elements like pulse or sensation.
Okay, and this is where Macor's innovation, his brilliant development, comes in to integrate them.
This is the key part.
So what was the aha moment?
Yeah.
How did he solve that breath dominance problem and bring pulse in so neatly?
Well, his solution connects back to that Tibetan insight. He focuses only on the out-breath. And here's the modification. He lines the out-breath with the pulse.
Ah. So the pulse leads?
The pulse leads, the out-breath follows, and sensation, it just naturally enters the mix.
How does that happen?
Because the out-breath, by its very nature, it's a letting go,
Yeah.
right? It allows whatever is happening in the system, sensations, feelings, to just be in your awareness.
It creates space.
It creates space, exactly. So pulse leads, out-breath follows, sensation arises within that space. It's really quite elegant when you think about it.
That is elegant. It bypasses the whole control issue with the breath.
Precisely. It sidesteps the tendency to manage the breath and lets the subtler pulse take the foreground, guiding the out-breath.
And Macor explores the symbolism, too, within that active, passive, connective framework.
Yes, he considers the pulse to be the passive element in that triplicity.
Okay, pulse is passive.
And then he leaves this interesting open question, which is pretty thought-provoking. Is respiration the active element and sensation the connective? Or is it the other way around?
He doesn't definitively say.
No, he leaves it open for exploration within the practice itself, which I think is part of the point, discovering it through direct experience.
That makes sense. So it's not just a technique, it's an investigation.
Absolutely.
Okay, so bringing it all together, this 3 body cycles meditation. When these elements are conjoined like this, what's the overall result? What's the intention?
The composite result, the intention, is really powerful. It's about bringing intention, bringing conscious awareness to your emotions, to the senses, specifically sensation, and ultimately to awareness itself.
It sounds like a very integrated way to deepen self-awareness.
That's exactly it. What Macor seems to have achieved here is this potent synthesis. It blends the wisdom of traditional practice, the focus on the out-breath, with his own modern, experience-based insights about pulse and sensation. And the aim is to help you gain that deeper, more nuanced self-awareness, maybe without some of the effort or struggle you might associate with other methods.
Which brings us to a thought-provoking question for you, the listener. If you were to explore this 3 body cycles meditation, what insights might you gain, particularly into those roles active, passive, connective? How might understanding that through your own experience shape your practice, or even just your perception of your inner states? Something to ponder. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.